You think discipline is about self-control? No. It's about removal of choice. You're told to resist temptation, but resistance means it still exists. Control is already failure. Ronaldo doesn't manage desire, he deletes it. The average man wakes up and decides. He decides what to eat, when to move, how hard to try. Ronaldo wakes up and obeys. No decisions, no options, just execution. Discipline isn't strength, it's automation. And if that feels extreme, it should, because your system was built for freedom. His was built for dominance. You think discipline is about effort? Wrong. Discipline is the elimination of effort. You've been trained to believe success is a battle of willpower. Ronaldo doesn't even enter the arena. Resistance is for those who haven't redesigned their environment. That's not control. That's architecture. His day isn't flexible, it's coded. Meals timed to cellular output. Oxygen chambers hardwired into recovery. Neural resets while you scroll. Imagine trying to beat a machine in a game it was designed to win. You wake up hoping for focus. He wakes up inside a system where failure can't occur. Discipline isn't about making better choices. It's about removing the need to choose at all. And the second you see that, there's no going back. Because your system was never built to survive. Most people begin their day negotiating with themselves. Ronaldo doesn't. That negotiation, that's where failure lives. You debate whether to train. He doesn't even ask the question. His morning isn't a choice, it's a sequence. Wake time, nutrients, cold therapy, neural priming. There's no friction because the protocol eliminates the possibility of friction. The decision doesn't exist. And here's the irony. The masses worship his motivation. But motivation is what you rely on when your system is weak. When you see Ronaldo doing 100 sprints at 6 a.m., you think, he must be built different. No, he just built different inputs. He engineered outcomes. Ever wonder why your alarm feels like a war zone, but his recovery chamber feels like home? It's not mental toughness. It's environment control. He doesn't conquer resistance. He deletes it. You call it a morning routine. He calls it biosystem initialization. One of you needs coffee. The other's already calibrating mitochondrial output. Every day at 4:15 a.m., Ronaldo walks into a cryo chamber. Not because he feels like it, but because it's the protocol. It doesn't care how he feels. That's the point. Emotion is not a variable. Now, you might say, that's great for him. He's rich. He's got the time. And that's exactly where your argument fails. Here's what you'll hear. It's easy to follow a system when you have a chef, a coach, and a cryo chamber. Fair, but flawed because you're mistaking tools for structure. Ronaldo didn't buy discipline. He built infrastructure. The money amplifies the system, it doesn't invent it. This mindset that discipline is a luxury is what keeps most people operating at subhuman output. They look at results, not processes, at outcomes, not architecture. Before the fame, Ronaldo trained with weights on his ankles, sprinting uphill in the Madeira sun. No chef, no chamber, just structure. And even then, failure had no door in. Funny how people say, must be nice, about a man who turned rejection into recursion. The man was benched, so he ran harder. You were ghosted and updated your playlist. So here's your trap. If you believe systems are for the elite, you'll never become elite. You'll worship effort while they engineer inevitability. Still think discipline is about grit. Let's take you into the final layer, where even mindset is obsolete. Here's what nobody teaches. Mindset is unstable. It fluctuates. It's emotional currency. Ronaldo doesn't trade in it. He built fixed logic systems. When your mindset breaks, you fail. When his mood shifts, the protocol doesn't care. His meals are pre-coded for biochemical output. His recovery cycles match circadian data. He visualizes match outcomes 72 hours in advance using internal scripting. This isn't obsession, it's automation. Before Champions League finals, he visualizes the exact stadium energy, wind resistance, and crowd timing, down to the noise pattern after a goal. That's not mindset, that's environmental preloading. You call this intense? It's surgical. You fear burnout. He fears noise. You crave breaks. He craves silence. Most people run away from structure. He weaponizes it. Most athletes have a playlist to get in the zone. Ronaldo is the zone. His playlist? Protocol 27B, cardiac tempo alignment. If structure makes discipline obsolete, what does that make motivation? A sedative, and you're overdosing daily. So here's the final truth. Discipline is not strength. It's preemption, not resisting failure, but engineering it out of existence. And Ronaldo, he doesn't resist weakness. He deleted it. You were never undisciplined, you were misinformed. The myth was elegant, that raw willpower, when pushed hard enough, could outperform structure. But Ronaldo proves the opposite. He never relied on will, he relied on automation. Because discipline isn't effort, it's architecture. And the system you follow? It's built to leak, to collapse, to fail, so you blame yourself, not the framework. You weren't weak, you were trained to act like a machine, without being given the system that makes a machine run. The truth is violent in its simplicity. Discipline was never a feeling, it was always a code. A code you've never been taught, because if you were, you'd stop needing motivation, shortcuts, or false starts. So now the veil lifts. You don't need more drive, you need fewer decisions. And that shift, from forcing discipline to programming it, is what separates Ronaldo from everyone else. And if you want to replicate it, that begins right here. You've just seen the system. Now act. Subscribe now. Because systems like this aren't found, they're built. Or stay where you are, relying on discipline, hoping motivation lasts, pretending your next attempt will work. This isn't a suggestion, it's a protocol breach. If you don't subscribe, you've chosen failure as your default. The code's in front of you. Copy it or stay behind.